right, for this one we're going to create our own tooltip, and for this one you can see I have some changes in here. Mine is for turtles. I think yours is for whales or orcas or something like that, but that doesn't matter. Well, this is not placed very well. That looks pretty good. It doesn't matter because the idea is going to be exactly the same. So if I were to show you the web page right here, here's turtles with the picture, and then we got a text box here on the right. Excuse me. What they want us to do is take this text box and move it to the right of the picture, but more centered up and down with the picture. So centered vertically with the picture. And we're going to do this in the style sheet. And here you can see we've got some stuff going on for the tooltip for the hovering, and then the class tooltip.text. We have some empty spaces right here, and that's on purpose. So what we're going to do is look at the actual web page right here. All right, now again, this is not published, but you can see it. And for this one, what I'm going to do is right click. Now for your Chromebooks, what you're going to want to do is take two fingers and double tap on your mouse, which will open this menu, and then at the very bottom you have inspect. Now if you do this at school, at least this is what we found in class, is it doesn't work. Okay, so what you're going to need to do is just kind of watch this. All we really need is back here in the style sheet is to find values that work and then plug them in here. But the idea is to show you that you can mess around with any website in the code. You can change some of the numbers and see how that goes for you until you find a look that you like. And then if you do like it, you can pretty much use the same code. So here, of course, is my doc type HTML, my index page, right? And we can click on some buttons right here and some arrows, which is going to open up the whole thing, and we can see all of the code if we wanted to. But what I really want to see is the style sheet. So there's a couple different ways to look at the style sheet. From what I remember, we went to sources, and then there's the style sheet right there. See, there's the two files that we have. We want to go to the style sheet, and what would we expect to see in the style sheet? Well, it's going to be all the stuff that's in our own style sheet that made the web page. So we can see that over here. Let's make this smaller. And sorry, it's already kind of small, but you can see scrolling down here that these options are already they're blank. Okay, just like they were in the style sheet down here. And if I were to go in here and mess around with these numbers, so for the left, again, I want it to be to the right of the picture. And in class we used 275 pixels. And what does that do? Well, it didn't show anything, so let's go to the top then and change that to 80 pixels like this. So you see the change there. So if I were to change this to something like 400 pixels, you see how it changed like that, or 40, or let's try 350. See what I'm saying? So 275 seemed to work. Actually, it looks like maybe 280 pixels. I do like the space there between the picture and the box. The top though, is that centered? Is it perfectly centered? No, but I also don't care. If you're like, yeah, maybe it should be a little bit further down, try 85 pixels and see how that goes. But I think that's okay. Whether you used 80 or 85, you're going to get the credit. And then we're going to give padding between the text and then the outside edge of the box there, or the border, right? So in class, we just used 8 pixels. But again, you can mess around with this number, 5 pixels. You can do 20 pixels. You know, that makes it much bigger. 40 pixels, even bigger, but 8 seemed to work pretty well for our class, so that's all I did. So this now has changed on the web page, but did it change back here? No. And the reason that is because changing the code on a web page in the inspector is not actually going to change the code in the original file, right? Whoever owns the file gets to change the code. So here now we're going to go back and change it, but we were messing around with it and we saw something that worked. For example, what did we get done? That was not 275, it was 280 pixels for the left. 280 pixels. And then the top was 85 pixels. Seemed to work pretty good. And the padding, we did 8 pixels on this one. And you could use the EM code if you'd like, but that's not what I'm doing. So now if I were to save and come back here and reload, you see now those numbers are shown inside the style sheet, and it didn't change anything in the picture because I used the same exact values here. Last thing they want us to do is to make so that this text box only shows up when the user is hovering over the picture. So in this one, first thing we're going to do is come to the top, and we have some code already there for us. The Tooltip class, when it's hovered over, and then the Tooltip text will show up. Here we're going to have visibility code, so this goes back to, oh man, I don't even remember. Let's see if I can find out. The visibility section for us was, and this is just if you want to go back and look at it, but it was 5.10 if you wanted to do that. So I'm going to make this visible if they're going to hover over it. Now it's already visible in my page, right? And if I hover over it, of course it's going to show up. So what am I going to do? I need to come in here, and for the tooltip.text, which is where we just put in the left top and padding, spacing right there, I'm going to add visibility code here as well. So we're going to have visibility code here, but regularly I would like it hidden. So HIDDEN, semicolon, save. And then when I run this, watch, this is going to go away. I reload it, boom, it's gone. But if I hover over the picture, then it shows up. And this is a nice way, especially if you're doing things like quizzes or something like that on your website, or just like fun facts or factoids. You can say, well, want to know an interesting, you could put a box here that says, want to know an interesting fact about turtles? And if so, hover or click on the picture there. I know I'm just hovering, but you could do something like that, and then as they hover over it, oh, there is a fun fact about turtles or something like that, okay? So there's lots of different ways to use this. It makes it very interactive for the user, which most people like. People like to see these types of things on websites. So do that, and you'll be good. So that's all we need for this assignment. That's all. Well, that's not all the code we put in, but it's almost all of it. So if you need all the code, here's the top. I'm going to zoom out actually. There we go. We put in this line of code on line 2, and then down here at the bottom we put in these lines of code as well. So hopefully that helps you guys out. But that's it for this assignment. Make sure you submit and continue so we can get the credit. We want you guys to get the credit. If you still need this code, now's the time to pause the video because I'm out.